Stephanie Sewell.
Mr. Toastmaster, members and guests, look it up. That's all I have to say. I tell you, those words continuously ring in my ear. Growing up in a household of teachers, anytime I had a question, all I heard was, look it up! But obviously that is how I internalized what my parents had to say. They truly were saying, sweetie, if you truly don't understand the answer to the question, let's flip back, let's take a look at this, let's go research it. But all I heard was truly, look it up, because I was like, oh, here we go again. My mom being a math teacher, if I had a question about fractions, she wouldn't answer my question. We had to flip back a couple of chapters and take a look at, why fractions are in existence and why do we have to do this and add and subtract and divide. And my dad being an industrial arts teacher, or should I just say shop teacher, same thing, same exact thing. I was always wanting to be handy and let's make a stool or do something around the house with all of his tools. But of course, before I could start, I had to understand proper conversions, how to measure with a measuring stick, and so forth. So that's the reason why constantly I've been told to look it up. And I always had to walk over to that encyclopedia in our corner of our living room, because that was the only resource at that time. Of course, I'm sure I'm telling my age, because I'm just by a show of hands, who really still owns a book of encyclopedias? Is it anyone? Okay, exactly. There we go. And they probably were handed down by your parents, probably. But now we live in the era of the internet, which is a great resource. So anytime you want to take a look or look up anything, I'm not going to yell at you the way I always felt like my parents were saying to me, but anytime you do want to look up any resource, you have the internet. So I wanted to present a topic on health and wellness, but not just health and wellness. I want to talk about diets, because there's so many misconceptions out there about diets. So I decided to Google Amazon.com. Did you know if you were to type in the word health, that over 4,000 resources would come up? That was too much. Okay, so then I decided to go to bn.com. That is short for barnesandnoble.com, because we live in a time zone where everything is just totally abbreviated. There's some type of acronym, but barnesandnoble.com website, bn.com. You type in the word health, literally 204,000 resources will come up. So once again, that was way too much. So I decided just to go to Barnes & Noble. And instead of going through all these resources, I said I'm going to take a stroll down the magazine aisle. And guess what I found? Fabulous magazine called Fat Loss. Now that was going to get my attention. So within this magazine, the great thing about this resource is that they have an opportunity to evaluate a lot of diets. So instead of going through Shape Magazine, Self Magazine, Cosmopolitan Magazine, all these other magazines that were listed under the women's health section, I decided just to go to this one. I like it. And in there, it has Find the Right Diet for You. But what's interesting is that as they go through all these different types of diets, they talk about the cabbage soup diet. But then there's a disclaimer: get ready for a lot of bloating. So I was like, okay, let's move on to the next one. Then there's a grapefruit diet, but you have to be ready to eat over 18 grapefruit while you're on that diet. And then there's a diet called the Master Cleanse diet. They don't recommend doing this one while you're at work, mainly on the weekend. And it is truly a combination of cayenne pepper, maple syrup, and water, and lemon juice. And that's all you do is just drink that solution all throughout the day. But Beyonce Knowles, who we all know is famous from her role in Dreamgirls, that is the diet that she says got her that role. She was able to lose all of that weight. Who knows? Then, for any drinkers out there, there is the Atkins Highball Glass Diet. You can drink hard liquor, because guess what? There's no calories in hard liquor. I promise you, these are certain diets. And then there's the baby food diet. Now, some of you may know I have a 21-month-old daughter. And I remember the baby food, and trying to get her to eat it, I had to take a little taste myself. But if you ever look at the back of a baby food label, it truly just says, if you're eating carrots, it says ingredients, carrots and water. So it is truly a very pure form of food. So that is the reason why they're actually showing that the baby food diet will really work. But of course, you're only consuming maybe 500 calories within a day. So unless you weigh 50 pounds, I think you're going to lose weight, because you have to weigh more than that. So without going through all of these diets, the bottom result is eating clean foods, meaning foods that are in their natural state. An apple is in its natural state. If you truly bite into an apple and place it on your desk and you walk away, you come back 20, 30 minutes later, guess what? That apple has turned brown. It is food in its natural state. So my question to you is, does an apple a day truly keep a doctor away? They're showing that an apple only costs you 11 cents. But if you want to know the answer to that question, I'm just going to say one thing. Look it up.